Hey guys, thanks for joining me in this video of how to create custom wallpapers or where to go to find them and cropping them so that they fit perfectly on your device. So before we jump into that, I just wanted to quickly congratulate the winner of the $10 Play Store gift card, and that's going to go to FSP Blue. So congratulations and hope you spend that on something awesome. Alright, so let's go ahead and go to our first website here. It's going to be called goodfont.com, and this is where I go to find all my wallpapers. And as you can see, they have all sorts of wallpapers, different categories like abstraction, city, landscape, cars, nature, brands, really anything that you could possibly think of. So here what you can do is you can do a quick search. So let's say you like video games, or a video game in particular, but here we see all sorts of wallpapers from different video games, and you can get more specific if you want. But once you see one that you like, all you do is click on it. But before you do that, a quick tip is that you would probably want to sort these by downloads or rating. That way you get images that other people really liked. And then also sometimes if you have a lot of images, you can sort them by time, and you're going to want to hit all time. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on this image here, and that's going to open up this page, and then we want to load the actual wallpaper by clicking always where it says original, and that's going to open up this page, and it's going to load the wallpaper in its original resolution. And then you're just going to click it one last time to blow it up, and then you right click it and hit save image as, and then that's going to save it as on your computer. Alright, so once you have those images saved, the next step would be to crop them so that they fit perfectly on your device. And the tool that I use for that is this website here called PicMonkey.com. PicMonkey is a web application, so that means that you don't have to download anything. It just works off of your web browser, and then you can just save that image onto your computer. So it's really nice, and it's free, so you can't really beat that. So what you do is click over here where it says edit a photo, and then you just pick a picture or an image on your computer, and then it's going to open up this editor and load that image. Alright, and then the next step here would be to crop this image. And if you have a Samsung Galaxy S4 or an HTC One, the resolution on that device is going to be 1920 by 1080. So that's what we're going to want to pick here. So we're actually going to do the 1080 first and then 1920. And then we get this little window where we can crop, and I'm going to hit here where it says scale photo. That way if I drag these corners, it'll scale proportional to the original 1920 by 1080. And then if I uncheck it, it'll make the resolution a little bit bigger, but that's okay. And I'll position it where I want it and hit apply. And here is our wallpaper, and these are the proportions that your device is going to work with best. So I can then click auto adjust, and then it's going to make it look a little bit better, and then I can go ahead and go to save. Now sometimes the wallpaper is going to be a bit smaller, so let's say for example I load this image here. So this image, if I go to crop, you will see that the dimensions are smaller, and the 1920 by 1080 is not going to fit. So all I do is divide those numbers by 2. So instead of 1080, I'm going to pick 540. Instead of 1920, it's going to be 960. And we see this window here, which is the same proportion. Hit scale photo, make it as big as I can. And then I'm going to click where it says scale photo again to make it a little bit bigger, and then hit apply, and there is our image. And it's still not as big of a resolution, but it's still going to look good on your device, and it's going to be the exact measurements that your phone is going to work with best. Now you could always just download the image and then without cropping it, putting it on your phone. But then if you have several wallpapers, every time you pick a different wallpaper, you're going to have to crop it using the software on your device, and then you have to use your fingers, and it's not going to be as accurate as if you just use it through PicMonkey. Crop it first and then put it on your device, then you don't have to worry about cropping it every single time thereafter. Alright, so that's pretty much the easy method to go ahead and do this. Basically getting some wallpapers, cropping them, You can rotate them here too, like that. And you have some other options here, but once you're done, you click save and you pick the name of this file, if you want a JPEG or a PNG, and the file size, and you hit save photo, and you're pretty much done. So this is the easy method. Doesn't require much effort. You can still get some really awesome wallpapers. And what I'm going to do now is show you a quick gallery of some original downloads and then what it looks like after I set them as my wallpaper and took a screenshot. And then we'll come back and I'll show you the harder method. Alright, so now I want to show you a harder method, and for this you are going to have to download some editing software, and the best one is going to be one by the name of GIMP. You go to gimp.org. You may have heard about this one, but basically you just download that and you load it onto your computer and install it, and this is what GIMP looks like. GIMP is awesome. It's free and it's very similar to Photoshop, and it's going to allow you to do a lot more creative things. So what I'm going to basically try to do here is whet your appetite and give you some examples of what you can do, and hopefully you take that and try to learn some of these techniques on your own and really play around with it. So let me go over here to some of the wallpapers that I got from that website. So for example, this South Park one, is intentionally made to fit on a landscape device, like maybe a tablet or a desktop computer. As you can see, if I try to crop this in portrait mode, maybe I'll get 1 or 2 characters, but there's no way I can get all of the characters. And that's really when you're going to want to use GIMP. Or let's say this right here, for example. So here, if I try to do it in portrait mode, it's going to cut off his shoulders, and there's not much I can do. So that's when you're going to want to use GIMP. So I'm going to show you something real quick here. I'm going to just go to File, hit New, and here 1080 by 1920, that's what we want, and we get this image, and this is the resolution that our phone requires. Then I'm going to go to my File Explorer and drag that South Park wallpaper on here. And once it loads, it's going to load it right there, looking good. And I'm going to move this around a little bit. Okay, so like I said, this works with layers. So we have the bottom layer, which is the background, then the wallpaper layer of the South Park characters, and then let me show you something real cool. So what I did is I took my camera on my phone, I covered the camera with my finger and took a picture and got a black image. Then I set that black image as my wallpaper, and then I took a screenshot of my home screen to get this basically. And once I got this, put it on my computer, and now I'm gonna drag this onto my workstation as well. So here we have the top screen is going to be my screenshot, and I'm going to click right here to hide it. And then we have the second screen, or the middle layer, which is the wallpaper with South Park characters, and then we have the background, which is just I'm using as my canvas basically. So what this is going to allow me to do is I'm going to click here on the top layer, go to opacity, lower this down. This way I see exactly where I'm going to view those characters. And this is how you're going to get those picture perfect images. You can even do this for other images that you don't really have to resize. But this is really cool. So I'm going to click here on the South Park layer, click on this tool, the scale layer, and I'm going to scale these guys down like this. Make sure that this is checked this little link so that it shrinks proportional. So I'm going to do something around there, hit scale, and then I can move these guys around and really see where they're going to go on my wallpaper. And it just makes it really awesome. And you can get really accurate as to where you're going to want to put these guys. And generally on your wallpaper, there's going to be some empty spots, especially if you have some widgets, so you can really position things. That way you get the best looking wallpaper. So I'm going to go ahead and hide that top screenshot. So I've already decided that I'm going to put those guys right there. And now what I'm going to do is basically I'm just going to fill in the top here with this sky color and the bottom with the snow color. So right now the border for the South Park layer is around these guys here. So I'm going to want to amplify that to go around the whole wallpaper canvas. So I'm just going to right click this, layer to image like that. Then I'm going to grab the eyedrop tool or the color picker tool, pick that turquoise or that sky color, grab the bucket fill tool, fill in the top, and then grab the color picker again, pick the snow, bucket fill tool, fill in the bottom, and there we go. There's our wallpaper that before there would have been no way to fit that on our wallpaper or on our device, and now I can go ahead and put this on my device, and not only that, it's gonna fit. It's going to be a perfect fit or perfectly molded depending on how I have my screen set up. So I'm going to zoom in here and you can see this line, and I'm just going to get rid of this line by coloring this in with this pencil tool and picking that turquoise color again. Got rid of that line and looking pretty good. So that's one thing that you can use GIMP for. Really modify it so that you get it to exactly where you want it to be on your home screen. And yeah, it's really cool, and this way you can create some really custom wallpapers and really make it your own. And yeah, I hope this caught your interest, and maybe you download GIMP, check out some further YouTube tutorials to really understand how it works. You have all these tools over here and then these options up at the top, and then you can create some wallpapers that are truly unique and that you can really show off and say that you created them, and just to show off your device as well. And if you get really creative and you have a custom launcher, you can create your own icons, or maybe download some icons and just kind of modify them and set those for your dock or your app icons. So I'm going to leave you guys with another really short gallery of some other wallpapers that I modified to just fit perfectly on my device. So I hope you guys like this video, and we'll see you guys in the next one.